Prepare the royal jet. We are going back to America.
Oh, hell no, Your Majesty.
So both of you are, you're brilliant at the multi-performance, right? So I wanted to ask you, what kind of methods do you use to bring out so many characters, especially revisiting characters from 33 years ago when Coming to America first premiered?
Some actors rely on a Stanislavski method or something like that.
That's what I do, Stanislavski.
I kind of just do what Eddie does because he's very good.
I'm relying on Stanislavski. My method is the Stanislavski.
I imitate Eddie. Whatever he does, I do that.
I don't really have a method. I just kind of turn it on and turn it off. I've always been just, I could turn it on and turn it off on action.
That's interesting because that there are characters that you may not have visited in a while. So is there anything you did differently this time around for the sequel?
No, not really. But the changes that you have to play, you're going to play naturally because you're 30 years older. So I didn't have to bend over anymore or do anything. I just had to I am the character older.
Also, I wanted to ask you too, we know that you filmed this at Tyler Perry Studios. And how was that? How was that process like?
That was real cool and surreal, but beautiful at the same time to ride in every morning and see Cicely Tyson's name on a building and see Oprah's name on a building and realize that you're about to create this sequel history on this brothers studio. It was kind of overwhelming sometimes to think about.
They didn't have my name on the building, but I think they had an Eddie Street or something like this.
Yeah, we would come in on Murphy Lane every day.
Some shit like Eddie Street.
Come through.
But no, for real though, it was a really great sense of pride to be on this studio. It's the nicest studio I've ever been on, and it was just top shelf. And to know that it was a brother that owned it, it was a huge sense of pride, just every day just going there, And I remember when we were doing the funeral procession and everybody was walking in, and it was a scene of John Amos, and he was walking, and he was just looking around. It's just the moment because to imagine him, to be on the lot and doing this movie, and it's a brother owned the lot and all that. It was really on his face. I think we had to shoot another take because it was like, "Hey, John, you're in the scene." He was like.
And going back into the many characters of the film and the chemistry that you both had in the first film and the second film as well, what would you say is your favorite character to play? There's so many to choose from. Randy Watson, Sex with Chocolate, like so many to choose from.
Those characters that require a lot of makeup, they're not fun to play because you really working on it. You're sitting in the makeup chair for 5-6 hours. The one that's the most fun to play is Hakeem because he's the easiest. The ones that get the biggest reaction, those are not fun. But it's so much work. When we first wrote the script, originally, I was going to play the witch doctor that Arsenio was playing, Baba, right? And I was brooding about all the makeups. And Arsenio was like, well, I'll play that. And I was like, okay, cool. You play that guy then. Now, I remember one day we were shooting. It was like 4:00 in the morning and everybody was leaving. And Arsenio had that Baba makeup on. And he had a tissue. And they said his eyes was tearing. But he was crying. He was crying. It was 4 in the morning. Everybody was leaving. He had like 2 hours of breakdown. That makeup, he was crying and shit.
Some heavy makeup, man.
I had that one Denzel tear coming down from Baba's
Come on, Glory, yes.
And I'll tell you something else about these characters. 4:00 in the morning, you wrap, you go home. It takes an hour to get all that stuff off. And then when you wake up the next morning, there's little brown glue and stuff all over your pillow and in your bed. It's the gift that never stops giving.
Yeah, even a couple of weeks after the movies, you be finding sticky.
Yeah, you find like a dark Morse Barber booger behind your ear with glue on it.